All right, you two. I want a nice, clean surveillance in the skies. And you watch yourself, Starscream. You cause us any trouble, and you're coming with me to Augusta this summer to go to the slaughterhouse. We'll have the Sarge slaughterize him. May just do it anyway, just for fun. Hello, everybody. Sparkster1701 here. We're taking a look at some more Blokees figures. And of course, like Larry pointed out, this summer in June, we will be in Augusta, Georgia for Joe Fest. We're not special enough to be a special guest, but we will still be down there. I'll be there to see what I can probably find. Maybe show off some of the Lego builds. And of course, since we'll do some filming in the hotel room, Larry will be down there with me by my side. Probably spending more of his time bouncing on the bed and watching cable TV. But before we get to that point, we got to review some more figures. And as you can see, we got a couple of prominent figures this time around. We have Skywarp and Starscream. Now, this may come as a surprise to many of you, but Skywarp was released in the first wave of Blokees, which featured Optimus and Megatron on the sides. But Starscream came out in Wave 2, which featured him and Grimlock on the sides of the box. That would seem a bit strange, but Starscream has an added detail here. As you can see here in his hands, he has Megatron in his gun form. The second wave of the Blokees Transformers did not have a Megatron figure in it. It had another Optimus Prime, the Shattered Glass version. And this was a way they could sneak Megatron in. They put him in his gun mode. So we could, if you wanted to, you could famously set up the famous scene from Transformers the movie with Starscream gunning down the Autobots. And for the benefit of those who don't know who these guys are, and I kind of doubt there's that many out there, but Starscream, of course, is the villain we all love to hate in the Transformers universe. Since apparently, depending on which origin story you buy into from Megatron, Starscream apparently is always evil. He's one of the few characters that does transition into all Transformer media. He's always scheming to take the leadership of the Decepticons. But he usually always ends up failing, either due to his own arrogance or other things that could cause the plan to go wrong. Like not too long ago, recently, on one of the YouTube channels that plays a lot of cartoons, they did have the episode Starscream's Brigade on, where Starscream created the Combaticons. And of course used his own lying and scheming to keep the Combaticons under his control in another attempt to usurp from Megatron. Even going so far as to ensure beforehand that the Combaticons could form their own super warrior, and they were able to fight Devastator as Bruticus. What Starscream didn't count on, while Bruticus nearly crushed Megatron, was that the Stunticons arrived and formed Menasor, and delivered their own devastating attack that caught everybody by surprise. Unfortunately for Starscream, Megatron had gotten free from Bruticus's grip, and was able to nearly strangle Starscream before banishing him and the Constructicons to an asteroid. Starscream would really get to show off a lot of his evil in the animated film, since he called for the retreat after Optimus Prime really gave Megatron a devastating, near-fatal blow. Starscream even went so far as to kick Megatron's severely wounded body. During their trip back, Starscream helped encourage the nomination for them to abandon their wounded warriors into space, taking personal delight at dropping Megatron himself into space. But of course, Starscream would soon later be vaporized by Megatron's upgraded form, Galvatron. He would appear again in the third season of the cartoon as a ghost, capable of possessing other Transformers. That feature would be brought about again in the Netflix War for Cybertron series, where his ghost wound up possessing the body of the Titan Transformer Trypticon, making Starscream nearly as invincible and powerful as he wanted to be. Of course, as you can see here, Starscream has a rather unique body compared to many of the others, since it does have an extra build to build on the wings. They do hamper the articulation since you can't move them, but otherwise his articulation is the same as others. And of course, Megatron here is in two parts. We'll show that to you here. As you can see, the gun removes out from the grip and stock. Takes a little bit of effort to get it out. But you can remove it, and it can fit into either hand that you wish it to be in. Starscream does also include open hands. So if you don't want to pose him with Megatron, you can go that route, or just not put him in there. But that's kind of your decision. Yeah, I would see Starscream doing that too. Let's put him aside before he does it. As we stated earlier, Skywarp was released in the first wave. And for anybody that may be wondering, Thundercracker was also in the first wave. And Skywarp, of course, also has the same type of hands as others. I just gave him the open right hand and the closed left one, just to kind of make some difference with my figures. Skywarp, of course, is the practical joker of the Decepticon Seekers, since he has the ability to teleport. He can teleport himself short distances. So he's often been known to be flying around, let an Autobot think he's got him in his sights, then suddenly disappear and appear behind the Autobot and shoot him in the back. The major downside to Skywarp is that he's also relatively stupid. It's often said that if he doesn't have Starscream or Megatron to direct him, he's pretty useless. Skywarp would be among the Decepticon warriors severely wounded during the Battle of Autobot City in the animated film, and he would be restored by Unicron into Cyclonus or as part of his armada. It's not 100% certain if Skywarp or Bombshell is the one that became Cyclonus. Then again, like with Starscream, the wings do not allow for full arm articulation, but you can pretty much get whatever you want out of him. I know these guys do have figure stands. I just didn't bother, since I've kept them in their boxes for the time being. I just didn't bother putting them on their stands. So, but there we have it. We have a couple of Decepticon warriors this time around. This is the only time we will have 2 Decepticons on camera, since there's quite fewer of them, aside from the Constructicons. All in all, they make a nice addition. Certainly something that some G1 fans would like. At any rate, that's my look at the Blokees versions of Starscream and Skywarp. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please do remember that if you love the content on this channel, we would appreciate a like, share, comment, and subscribe. This is Sparkster1701 saying I'll catch you all later.